Hi guys, Colin here from Classes.ie. So Apple have just released iPad OS, a dedicated software for the iPad. It's very similar to what we've been using in the past with iOS, but there's some features that are iPad only. So in this section, we're going to have a look quickly at the different features. Remember, if you like the video, do make sure you subscribe and click that bell and give it the thumbs up. So we'll get straight in. Okay guys, so one of the first things we want to look at here is the new dark mode that we've seen in iOS. So we've seen it already in iOS for iPhone, but now we're going to have a look at it in iOS for iPad. So if we click into our settings and then into our display and brightness, you can see it gives us the option here, light and dark. Now this can be set up when you're setting the iPad up from the start, but you can always go in and toggle it on or off here. So you can see at the minute we're in light mode. If I tap on dark mode, you can see we can go to dark mode straight away. So that's one way of being able to toggle dark and light mode on. You can also set it to automatic. And if you set it to automatic, you can see it gives you options. It would be on light mode until sunset. And then after sunset, whatever location you're in, it will then go on to dark mode. So at night time, it'll automatically kick into dark mode for you. There's also the option, I'm going to press my home button here. There's also the option to be able to toggle light and dark mode on from your control center. So to get from your control center, we drag down from the top right hand corner and you can see we have a number of options here. But what we want to do is we want to add a button to this section. So if I click on my settings and then go into my control center settings over on the left here, and you can see it gives us an option for customize controls. So if we click it and scroll down through them, so you can see it has included a few of them. They have a red minus on them there. You can take them out if you want. One of the options down at the bottom here you can see is dark mode. So dark mode is there, and if we press the plus, it puts it up into the top section and we now have it. The three lines on the right hand side would allow you to move it up or down. I'm going to leave it where it is. If I press my home button again and now go back, if I slide down on my control center, you can see I now have an extra button down at the bottom here, and if I press it, it toggles on to light and dark mode. You can see automatically in the background, if I show you the wallpaper that we have, you can see it has that black area in it. If I put on light mode, you'll see that goes to white. So these are the new wallpapers that Apple have brought in. I just clicked on my settings there. I'm going to go to my wallpaper section. And once we go to wallpaper, there's an option for choose a new wallpaper. So once we click on choose a new wallpaper, you can see it gives us dynamic and stills. I'm going to go into stills. And once I go into stills, then you can see it gives me them first four that we have there. Each of them have a small icon down at the very bottom right hand corner of it. And that icon indicates that they can be used with light and dark mode. The other ones will have a light and dark mode element to them, but them first four are designed especially for light and dark mode. So choose one of them and enjoy them. Okay, so if we slide from left to right, you can see that we have all these widgets come up here on the left hand side, and we can choose to keep these here. So if we scroll down to the very bottom, we can edit them, we can put different ones in, but if we click on the edit option here at the bottom, keep on home screen is the first option, so you can keep the today view on the home screen. And I'm just going to click done. We'll go back in a second and have a look at the different options. But if I click done, this leaves it with the home screen. So you can see when I move from one to the next, it leaves that today view on the left hand side, because you do have that wee bit more space now on the left on your home screen that you can do it. So it might be a feature that some people would like. I think I'm going to leave it off, because you can always access it by just dragging from left to right. And you can see I've put a couple of things in here that I have a tutorial at 12 o'clock. Any reminders you have, I have my location there, and I have the temperature, my screen time, and so on. So I'm going to drag that back over and give us back the home screen. Another thing you will notice about the home screen is at the minute they give you view for 30 icons. So you can see you have 30 of these icons, the small ones. It used to be 20. You can change that back if you rather the bigger icons in the settings. So another option we have in iPad OS is the ability to make the keyboard smaller. So if we go in here into notes, and we're just going to create a note by clicking on the new button up the top right hand corner there. You can see the keyboard is big, and it's a typical iPad keyboard that you will be used to. But if you pinch with 2 fingers, it makes it into a smaller keyboard. And this keyboard now is similar size to an iPhone. It gives you the option to be able to type in text, and it will put the text in for you. So the same way as the keyboard, but you can use it with a single hand or a single finger. Okay. We also then have the option, like in iOS, we can swipe. So if I swipe across it, you can see I'm swiping my finger across it and it's typing in for me. Now I'm just typing in gibberish there now. But if I wanted, I could say you can swipe. And you can see as I move my finger across them keys, it's following my movement. So that's the new keyboard. If you want to put it back out to normal size, you just expand it as if you were zooming in or out on a photograph. Okay, like with all the other keyboards, 2 fingers down on the keyboard will give you a trackpad. So 2 fingers, hold down, you can see you can move your cursor around the page. And we also have the easier option now with iPad OS. Hold your finger anywhere once you're typing. Hold your finger anywhere and you can see you can move the cursor around. So I'm just holding my finger there and dragging it, and it's placing the cursor wherever I stop my finger. So that's new in the keyboard options in iPad OS. So the next improvement in iPad OS is the ability to view full desktop browser in Safari. So if I click into Safari, you can see it opens up full screen for me. Now, it used to be the case that if we went to a website on iPad, it would show us the iOS version or the mobile version. But if we click on it here, I'm just going to go to my own website. You'll see it opens up. It's the full screen like we would have if we were going on to it on a MacBook or Windows PC. It gives us full screen. It doesn't give us any of the small menus that you would have seen. You can see the menus are full there, and we can click through them and go into the different options. If we wanted to go to one of the courses, you can see it's going to give you full screen layout right the way through it. So it's a lot better for anyone that's using it for reading and doing any research on. Okay, so as well as Safari being able to go on full desktop quality websites, we also now have an option to download. So any files that you want to download straight from Safari, they have a download manager, and you can download it straight to a location. Now, they've also made improvements there in the locations where you can download it to. So here we have, if I click on the files option down the very bottom, so this new files app, you can see I'm not signed in here, but if you're signed into iCloud Drive, you could share your files across all your devices right the way through. You also have files that you can store right on your iPad. That would be any downloads that you would get from Safari, and any deleted items go in there. We also have the ability to tag them like we would on a Mac. Now, one of the main features that they're after adding into the files is to be able to use a compatible USB with it. So you can get an adapter that you plug it into your Lightning port, and then plug the USB straight in there, and it will show up here on this left hand side. Now, I haven't got one on hand, but I have used it and I've seen it working, and it does work very well. So it just means you're going to be able to transfer your files from your iPad to your Mac and vice versa, or your Windows PC or whatever the case is. So that's a big plus for iPad. It's getting it closer to the working person that you can use it for work. Okay, pressing on the home button again, go back to our home screen. Okay, multitasking has got an upgrade in iPad OS. So you can see if I open up Safari here, I'm in full screen view. So I'm in a full browser view like we would have. And now if I slide up from the bottom, it gives me my dock back. And I can open up different ones, for example. So if I wanted to open up maybe my files, I can just hold it and move it up to the right hand side, and you can see it gives me my window here. If I wanted to swipe up again, I can open my notes, hold it, and move it up, and it gives me notes here. And I could maybe do my messages. Don't hold it for too long because it'll give you an option. We'll talk about that in a second. So you can see here, it gives me a screen that's similar in size to an iPhone 11 or an iPhone 10 or a 10R. and it gives the features that you would use are the exact same. So we can use it as normal. So I'm just going to move back using the app switcher. So anyone that has an iPhone 10 or 11 would be able to use the app switcher like this. So you just, that black line at the bottom, I lift up slightly on it, and you can see I can change the app back. So if I click in here to my notes, I can type away and do whatever I need to do as normal, as if I'm using a phone. Once I type, so once I'm finished typing, I can put away my keyboard using the button down at the bottom. And I now have this notes, and you can see I can continue reading on like that. So I could maybe take notes on what I'm reading or take notes on what's going on here. So 2 hours of simple iMovie tutorials. So you can see it here. Okay. And straight away, we can put away the keyboard and we can go back. If we wanted maybe then to go back and have a look at our files, we could go and use the files like we need to, and we still have the window here. So you can see both windows will use independently. Once I'm finished with it, this black line down at the bottom here, I can just swipe it up and close them all out, and that gets me back to my iPad screen. So multitasking is definitely a good option now in iPad OS, and it's one that you're going to quite enjoy working, that you can use 2 apps at the same time. Another option we can use with multitasking is if we're constructing an email message. So I have one open here, and we're just going to send it to maybe Colin at computerclasses.ie, and we're just going to go nice picture. Okay. You used to have to go in and click on picture or whatever it is, but if we have our dock open and our pictures open on the left hand side here, you can see that we can drag the picture straight in, and it includes it as an attachment in our email. So you can actually go and look through them and see what they're like. So that's one of the good options. It allows you to be able to have a look at the other pictures on the right hand side there. You could swipe through them if you had hundreds of pictures and pick the ones that you want, and not have to use this option here. So the other option for putting in pictures was to use the long press and then do it. So it's a good option if you're, especially for anyone in business or want to send certain things, you can click and do that. Okay, so that's another great feature there for the multitasking. One of the other features we have is we also have the long press. So anyone that's using the haptic touch with the iPads or iPhones rather, you can hold down on an app and it will give you options for the app. So if I hold down on the Mail app, for example, you see it gives me options for Mail, maybe to write a new message or to search or add an account and so on. If I was to hold down on the Safari app, it gives me options for create a new tab, open a new private tab, show my bookmarks and so on. And a lot of the Apple applications will do this. If I hold down on the Photos app, you'll see it allows me to look at my favorites straight away, your most recent photograph. So if you quickly want to get to your most recent photograph, just click it and take you straight to it, and it will let you do that. Now, so that's the option. Hold down on it and create whatever you want. Okay, so that's the holding down on the applications. It works best with the native Apple applications. They've also concentrated a lot on the swiping options. So if you're in a full screen application, to get back to your home screen, you used to just press the home button, but it meant you had to reposition your hand and press it. Swiping up from the bottom right corner will allow you to close out of the app. So give it a good swipe from bottom right up. Another improvement they've put into is in the maps. So if we click into our maps, I've gone to San Francisco here because it's one of the ones that works best. They haven't got that many of them done now, but they've added a new look around feature. So if you go to a location, okay, and select a location, so if you just tap on it, you can see it's going to give you an option for look around over here on the left hand side. If I click on look around, it's going to open up for me, and you can see I can have a look around exactly what's in that area. So I've just picked a random area here. If I go back out of it, we can pick another option. So maybe we'll pick this corner here, and we go to look around, and you see it opens up for us. If we wanted, we could move that. We can have a good look around the screen. So you can see here, there's the screen. We can also tap and we can move up to an area if we want to have a wee look around just to see what's in the area. So if you're trying to find somewhere or trying to show somebody something, you can do that like that. You can see right the way around, and you could move up the street if you wanted, like that. So it's like Street View. You can go straight around to different places and see exactly where you are. So it's a good improvement to maps. Okay guys, if you liked that video, please do make sure that you subscribe to the channel. There's loads more there. Click on the wee bell so that you get the notification anytime that I upload new content. So thanks, and we'll see you again.